right, attorney Alan Dershowitz has made a career out of representing some notorious, controversial folks in America, from Klaus von Bülow to O.J. Simpson. He's keeping up the tradition in his new book, The Case Against Impeaching You-Know-Who. Please welcome Alan Dershowitz. Hey,
Thank you.
welcome. So last night... So last night, the current president announced his pick to replace Justice Kennedy on the Supreme Court. You're a Democrat. Did it concern you? Did you think it's a, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I am such a big fan of every single one of you. I've been so thrilled to be on the show. I've been waiting to get hard questions. I know you're an expert in hard questions, and you're a great lawyer, and so I'm really ready to mix it up with you guys.
We've worked together before. He was one of my guests on a CNN show.
Right, and then we've done some things together. So great. I feel like I'm at home. Okay. Now, be tough on me. Okay.
So what do you think?
Look, I wouldn't have nominated Kavanaugh. It wouldn't have been my choice.
Why?
I'm a liberal Democrat. I would love to see Akhil Amar, the guy who wrote the piece in the New York Times today, a professor at Yale. He would have been great. I can give you a list of 100 people. But the Republicans, I think they won. They lost the popular vote, but they won the electoral vote. So, and they stole the first nomination to the Supreme Court. Absolute theft, unconstitutional. And I have to tell you, I'm a little critical of President Obama, for whom I voted. He should have nominated Merrick Garland and should have sworn him in and should have dared the Republicans to say, kick him out of office.
We agree with that.
Because they have no right not to decide a case. The Constitution says advice and consent. It doesn't say delay and postpone.
Well, then how come Mitch McConnell's not in jail? That's what I want to know.
Well, you want to put everybody in jail. I know. Look, I'm against putting people in jail unless they've actually committed crimes. I know that's a radical position.
Maybe you should have sat by someone else.
But look, Kavanaugh may be on that list. He may be the best. Democrats will say least worst. He is a more traditional conservative. I think he believes in precedent. I think he will apply the law. I remember he was a Justice Kennedy law clerk. He was, he graduated Yale Law School, taught at Harvard. Nothing wrong with that. That's what I did. So I want to hear the questions. I want to hear the answers. But I'm not going to go along with Liz Warren, my friend and colleague, who says we're going to oppose everybody. That would, I hate the way justices get confirmed these days. It's so political. I wish we could go back to the days when justices got confirmed 99-1, and then we waited to see, and many of them switched. Many of them who were appointed as liberals, like Felix Frankfurter, became a conservative. Earl Warren became a liberal.
But those days are gone, Alan.
They may be gone. They may be gone, and it's largely because of the way the confirmation process
And why
is
should the
operated.
Democrats play hardball?
They should
the
play
right wing
hardball.
does
They
and says,
should
I'm not
play
going to do
hardball.
it.
They should
Why
play
should we always
hardball.
be the
Thanks, honey.
snowflakes?
But what about this? Professor Dershowitz, and a lot of folks are talking about this. Back in 2009, Kavanaugh wrote, I think, a law review article. And he said that Congress should pass a law exempting a president while in office from criminal prosecution and investigation, including from questioning by criminal prosecutors or defense counsel. Considering that is a distinct possibility for this president, is that something that would disqualify Kavanaugh, do you think?
Well, he might have to recuse himself based on what he has previously written. Justice Kagan has had to recuse herself from a few cases, but that doesn't mean he's going to serve for 40 years. So if he has to recuse himself for a few cases, that won't be a big deal. Look, I disagree with Kavanaugh. He also said that a president could be impeached for engaging in dastardly conduct. That's a great legal criteria. How many people here have engaged in dastardly conduct over their lifetime?
But unbecoming conduct is covered.
No, I don't believe that.
In terms of high crimes and misdemeanors.
I don't believe that.
I know you don't. I read your book, but I think you're wrong.
In my book, The Case Against Impeaching Trump, I argued it has to be an actual crime, either bribery, treason, or a high crime, or of course obstruction. But it's and that's why Nixon would have been impeached. That's why Clinton was impeached. They both were charged with real obstruction, tampering with witnesses,
unbecoming
lying.
Conduct is listed.
Unbecoming conduct.
It's listed.
Would you want your life to be judged by unbecoming conduct? Unbecoming what?
It's listed.
It's not listed. It's not in the Constitution.
That you're listing, the emoluments, all of that. Don't you have to start an investigation to see if a crime has been committed.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there are two
so
people.
you must be able to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because nobody is above the law. Not
Nobody's
the president,
above the law.
nobody.
But remember that
Okay.
senators can't be arrested for what they do on the floor of the Senate. Congressmen can't
On
be.
the floor of the Senate, but
Judges
outside.
can't be, or on the way to the Senate. It's a very strange provision of the Constitution. But none of these people are above the law because that is the law. And I don't believe a president can obstruct justice by merely exercising his constitutional authority to fire somebody. What the other presidents who've been impeached, they violated the actual law. They either lied under oath, or they told witnesses to lie, or they destroyed evidence,
You
or they
found
paid hush
that
money.
because of an investigation.
There should be an
Right.
investigation,
Okay.
and there are two
Yeah.
bodies that should
Okay.
investigate. One, Congress can investigate for impeachment, and second, the U.S. Attorney's offices all over the country. These are wonderful civil servants who have been prosecuting people for 20 years. Why do we need a special counsel? There's nothing special.
The Democratic group did nothing. I mean, the House group.
I don't. Oh no, I
That
don't.
did nothing with
believe
Nunes
me,
in charge. That went nowhere.
What I argued for from day one was a nonpartisan expert commission like 9/11 that could get us all the facts and say to the Russians, never again, because they did interfere with this election.
Why doesn't this
I
say
have
that
no
again?
doubt about that.
Say it again really loud.
They did interfere with this election,
That's
and they're
nice.
going to interfere with our next election if we don't stop.
Mr. Dershowitz, you're saying I was under the impression you were a Trump supporter of some
God.
kind.
No, no.
Well, you have been. You just wrote a whole article about how you're being ostracized in Martha's Vineyard because of your support of President Trump, and you voted for Hillary Clinton. So I'm a little confused.
You should be confused. Let me tell
But
you.
why
when I
are you
was a-
being ostracized in your social circles if you're not supporting
that's a-
President
that's a
Trump? But if you're saying all
non-issue.
these things about how he's horrible and
I didn't say
the
he's horrible.
election was intervened and all this stuff, why are you even remotely support him? Because you're certainly not a Joy Behar.
So when I was in college, they tried to fire some of my teachers who were communists. I went to Brooklyn College. I hated communists. I defended them. I defended the rights of Nazis to march through Skokie. I defended O.J. Simpson. I defended Klaus von Bülow. I'm not complicit with any of these people. I don't support them. I am making the constitutional civil liberties case. If Hillary Clinton had been elected, by the way, I'd been thrilled. I worked hard on her campaign, and they were trying to lock her up. I'd have written the same book, except it would have had a different name, The Case Against Impeaching Clinton. I would have said exactly the same thing, made the same arguments, and the people on Martha's Vineyard would be hugging me and kissing me, and all the liberals would love me. But because I'm making the case for a president they disapprove of, a civil liberties neutral case, they
Has it been
don't
worth
like
it
me
to
so
be
much.
ostracized from social circles for this
Worth it.
constitutional
Are
defense?
you kidding? First of all,
you seem
to do.
pretty upset.
I've been ostracized before,
Okay.
and it makes you understand the
take a
difference
break
between
now.
your real
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah, it's true.
You're welcome at this damn table.
I appreciate that. That's the most important.